Because of my passion for online entrepreneurship and in believing the impact we can make if we can all discover our purpose and do what we love, the Passion and Purpose podcast was born. I hope to share more inspiring adventures with you along with the people who have been there and done that. Welcome to the Passion and Purpose podcast, everyone. Here we will give you another inspiring adventures with a very special guest. Her name is Glorybeth Castillo. She's a functional consultant and she's from the Philippines, by the way, just like me. But right now she is in Czech Republic for almost 6 years now. And she initially came there to pursue her master's degree in economics and business management, but decided to stay there to learn more on to learn how it is like to live outside her comfort zone. So thank you so much for being here today, Glory. How are you today?
Hi, all. I'm doing great. Thank you for giving me this chance. I'm excited to share my story. I hope it will be a fruitful one.
I'm sure it will be. So, Glory, can you please tell us a little bit more about yourself, the ones that I missed, because I'm sure that I missed a lot, and how you get to stay in Czech Republic. What are you doing now, and what are you planning on doing in the future?
Yes, Czech Republic is kind of very interesting story for me. And I think especially like lately, I feel like life happened for me here in Czech Republic. Yes, you mentioned earlier, I've been living here for the past almost 6 years now, actually. And after being a student, I immediately took a job so I can legally stay in the country. But if I look back, actually, it's kind of a roller coaster ride. Yes, because I think at first when I came here, there was like a goal for me just to finish my studies, and after that, I decided to stay, but there wasn't really a concrete plan. And I think that's also a life lesson for me that, we need to have like some goals. We need to have a compelling goal so we know exactly where we're going to head in our life. Let me like maybe, have a backtrack on what exactly happened. So yeah, I took a job in AT&T. It's as a customer service representative because that time AT&T is only one of the companies that accept foreigners.
Wow.
Yeah, because like of course they will like working here as a foreigner is so difficult because you need to do a lot of legalities. But lucky for me because I graduated here in the country, so somehow I have the chance in their labor market. So that's somehow like a benefit graduating here. So yeah, I got a job in AT&T, but I know myself that I don't really want that kind of job. So me, I was just like, okay, I'm working, I'm doing good at work. I did not even expect that I will become like a top one customer service representative, but I know myself, I don't like it, but I was just telling, oh, okay, because I'm here. Like I wasn't having any like concrete goal. And then I go to the office, go home, no concrete plan. And then I applied for another company that is more on accounting, ERP system. So that's for Oracle. That's why I become a functional consultant. And yeah, like the same story goes on. Like maybe sometimes when we used to live in our very comfortable life, we are afraid to take another risk because we might not know if it will succeed or not. So in my case, like, yeah, okay, I'm comfortable. I have a decent job. I'm earning good amount of money. I can live my life. I can travel. I can go anywhere. Everything is perfect for me. But there wasn't really no growth at all. If I look back now.
Yeah.
And 2020 happened. The pandemic happened. For me, I did not like think that it will affect me. I'm here in this country. Everything is fine. But yeah, as I've said, life really happened for me because when we were in lockdown, like the anxiety, the depression, that feeling of, you're always overwhelmed. It's like, I'm not like this before. And then I just continue living my day, trying to survive each day at a time. Like some people during lockdown, they really went into like developing some skills, doing some trainings. Me, all I focused was myself. Like, boy, maybe hopefully tomorrow everything will be fine. Lockdown will be over.
Yes, yes.
But apparently tomorrow it's still the same thing. So that's why. And then the next thing, I lose my job.
Ooh.
I lose a job. I was like, what's happening right now? Like, and then the stories goes on, like the more you're focused on what you don't have, and the more you are focused on the things that you cannot have or you cannot control, like it makes you somehow kind of negative as well at the same time. And I think this is also one of the stories I want to share. It's because like maybe when we don't have a compelling goals in our lives, then it's really difficult to get through tough times. Yes, it's like being into lockdown, the pandemic really taught us a lot of lesson. But now if I will like look back and tell myself, maybe if I was like busy or just trying to go outside my comfort zone, I will not maybe feel the effect of the pandemic. Because lately, that's I was tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I can
You
relate
know,
to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know that feeling, right? And then like one day I wake up, it's like, no, I know I'm not this person. I know I can do something else. Like I came here before, I have nothing. So maybe I may not have a job. I may not, having a very good social life, but maybe it's time for me to develop myself more. And then I realized like I know I love to talk and I love sharing my story to people. That's why I realized I think this is the kind of story that I want to share also, especially to my people. What I mean to my people is that from the life I used to have in the Philippines, growing up in a rural area, that province life. Or maybe now it's different because there's internet. That time when I was there, like, you go to an internet shop to have access to the internet. You go to
Yeah.
internet shop to access Facebook, but the life I used to have is very very small, so limited. So was just focused on like home, school. That's it. Like, and then when I come here, actually the world is so big. There's a lot of opportunities. You just really need to hustle. Hustling is so difficult and tiring, but if you focus your energy to that, there's really like a very good outcome. And I want to share that story because like at home I would be like, no, girls, we can be more. That
Yes.
kind of story, because in my head what I used to know is that okay, I go to school, I finish work 2 3 years, I get married, I should be married, that kind of life. It didn't happen to me. But before that's my idea of the life that I should live, because that is also what I observe from my surroundings. And then I was like, no, let me share. I should, find a way that I could be able to share my story. Just be ambitious. Just be ambitious
Yeah.
and work on your ambitions. I remember before, of course, you becoming so ambitious, there are also a lot of naysayers around you.
Yes.
A lot. And I think for my case, one of the biggest naysayers in my life is my mother. My
Okay.
mother, because you're like, oh, Glorbert, don't dream too much, because what if one day it will not, it will not happen, and then it will make you sad. I was like, no, I will make big dreams in case it will fall. There's still like big pieces
Still
that I
big.
can work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be very big.
Yes, yes.
That's why, like, good thing also that my mom is telling me those kind of words, because like it really challenged me, and I have to work hard. And then, but yeah, that's the thing. I work hard, and managed to reach my goal that time, finishing my studies. But after that, there was no backup on what should I do next. So it's like, no, there should be something else. Like every day should always be a constant learning. We should not enjoy our comfort zone in
That's true.
any aspect of it.
We were brought up here in the Philippines that we don't have to have a goal. We just have to finish studying and then get married and then raise the kids and then die after. And then our kids will still be doing the same thing. Now, my point on that is that we have to teach our kids how to follow their dreams no matter how hard it is, no matter the challenges that will come. We have to teach them how to become resilient because life is so tough, and we are not prepared for the for all of the challenges that life has ahead of us, because the challenges are already there, but we're not ready. We don't know, we don't even know how to register a business. We don't know how to budget our money. I mean, after we graduate college, we don't know anything about life. We just know how to study, and that is something that's different if you grew up in the Philippines. So I can understand what what you were thinking before you go to Czech Republic, and I'm so glad that you were there and you were able to see a bigger part of the world. So what changed? So you were brought up in the small town, and then you moved to another country that is bigger with a lot of opportunities. What changed from Glory Beth 6 years ago to Glory Beth right now?
A lot, like a lot. Whenever I talk to my mom, she'd be like, I feel like the Glorbet I used to know is gone. I was like, Mom, coming here changed my life. Like literally changed my life. Like at home, I think this is also because how we brought up. Like my parents are always there to support me. Waking up in the morning, I just go shower and go to school. I have my breakfast ready. When I came here, I have to prepare myself breakfast.
Yeah.
I have to plan. I have to budget my money. Like my bills, like everything. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I will be telling, I blame it to all you guys. Maybe you should have like maybe told me like at 18 years old, like, okay, Glorbet, start living your life. Find means for you to earn money.
Yeah, we are
And yeah,
so protected when we were growing up, especially if we're girls, right? You just have to stay at home, no more late night outs, and everything is really provided for.
yeah, and that's why I was like, I think before I was so fragile, and I just don't know how to interact with the world, because I've been living with my parents my entire life, and I came here I was like 22. Everything changed, like now, like of course the way we think should also like change. You should be automatically mature because you're handling yourself.
Yeah.
You're really managing yourself, like everything. You have to make a good habit. You have to entertain yourself at the same time, because you are really far from your used to be comfort in our lives. And sometimes I'll be telling my parents, oh, you know what, you should like send my brother to go to another city. He may struggle. Don't worry, he will grow. Look at me. And then my dad will be like, no, we should send, like it's normal for us to like support the child. So we should send money, this and that. I will like, no, you should not send money, because I will always be reliant to my parents. I will always have that thinking. And then, yeah, like it's just so different, like coming here. just really changed everything. I feel like I'm running my own family. I'm running my own household.
Yes, yes. And it feels good, right? When we are independent and when we can manage it, it gives us that sense of empowerment. It gives us that different purpose in life. It's not just to earn money and pay the bills, but it gives us this sense, like meaning to our lives. What did you find out in your 6 years of staying there? Were there any dreams that you wanted to pursue more, and especially that you said earlier that you wanted to pursue coaching, or you were starting coaching?
I want to pursue coaching because, yeah, like I just want to like share that part of my story. Like we as women, we can lead, we can survive, we can be someone else. Yeah, because as I mentioned, like we grow up in a society, like especially girls, like you should be in the house, you should, like take care of the family. But no, we can be something else. We can create our own path and we can steer our life into the direction of being a leader.
That's right.
I know it's a challenging, it's so difficult, but it's possible as long as we have those goals. And it's difficult, of course. Sometimes love life will come along our way.
Yes.
Maybe let me focus on love life, but you should no. should focus on your goals.
Yes, yes, I understand. There's a lot of life distractions. Things happen. Sometimes we get derailed or we get distracted. But as long as we are focused on a goal that we really, really want, we'll go back to that route and, stay put and try to learn everything that we can in order to become that person that we wanted to be. So why coaching? Why not something else? Why not? Because you were into, I think you were majoring English. Am I correct?
I mean, like, yeah, my courses are in English, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
And why coaching? Why not something else?
why coaching? Because I feel like this is something that is not really, I mean, in my thinking, it's not really something that is happening at home. I feel like for me, I need coaches in my life
Yes.
because my idea, my thinking, my skills will not always be applicable at any given time. So we need someone in our lives to guide us, give us a different input, give us a different perspective in life. And yeah, like I wanna like just share that story at the home. Like I'm always rooting to the story from where I grew up. Like the world is so small and limited.
Yes.
And I want to share my story to make someone also be aware that they can be something else. So that's why I want to pursue in the coaching part. Like
I think I
share
can
my
relate.
story.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that because I also grew up in a small province. And right now, looking back, had I not gone to the city when I graduated college, I might still be there in a small town working in a factory. But for me, I know that that's not my thing. I know I can do more and I know I can do better. I've also worked in the call center before and I was a good agent. I handled people as well, I handled the team. But I know that I am bound for something else, but not that one. So I was resigning from one company to another, looking for that opportunity, looking for that passion. And when I found it here online, I never looked back. No, and I think that we have the same connection towards people, and you're interested with people. You're passionate about goals and dreams and life's purpose, and I think that will start a good vision. That will start a vision for you that you might want to see fulfilled within 5 or 10 years from now, which is very good because you're pretty young. There's uh, uh, wide range of opportunities ahead of you, and you're single.
Yes, I recently just got single.
I think Because if you're married, you don't have time. I mean, you have lesser time pursuing your goals because you will be very busy providing for the family and taking care of the kids and the husband. And take advantage of that you're single and you wanted to pursue coaching. So right now, where do you see yourself 5 or 10 years from now? What are the goals that you wanted to achieve so that the people can also, the audience, the listeners of this podcast can also relate, especially the ones that are your age?
Like for me, if I, see 2, 3, 5 years from now, if I want to be able, like I envision myself being in a stage and sharing my story. And my stage of thinking is really still goes back to my community at home. Like, just if you are able to change some, like a single person's life, I think it will create a chain effect, because then that person will also like help another person. Like, no, you should do, like, change your perspective in life. So it's not really like something big, but hopefully I will be able to help someone change their perspective in life.
You will be. I'm pretty sure about that because everything starts with what you believe in. And if you really believe in it, you can really achieve it.
Yeah, and also not focus on the naysayers, because as you mentioned, like I'm still young, and I feel like if I start sharing my story at home, of course they will be like, what are you saying? Like, you're so young, you haven't lived life yet. But yeah, life happened for me in a different way, and I think that would be my experience to tell to people that, yeah, we can really change our stories in life. We may grow up in a difficult, poor situation, but there's always a way for us to get out in that situation.
Yes,
So
there is. There is. And especially your age, the people that your age are not actually, what do you call it, goal oriented or growth oriented, but you have a different perspective, and that's what's good about it, because you know that you need to grow, and you know that you wanted to achieve more in life, and that's where it will start. Is there somebody that you look up to that you want to be like that person? Because it also starts from there.
That's a very good question. Like lately, I've been, watching a lot of people, maybe like so ambitious. Priyanka Chopra.
I'm sorry, I don't know her. Oh, please tell us about her.
I know she's like Priyanka Chopra is a celebrity. Yeah, with an Indian descent. So she got married to the one of the Jonas brothers.
Oh,
Oh yeah, like, and then she's just doing a lot of, like, I think she's part of the UNICEF, helping a lot of people in India. And she has also a very nice story. Like, of course, being in an Indian community, she tried to change her story. Instead, like in the Indian community, you should be a doctor, you should be, an engineer. But she chose to become like Miss India, and then went for TV. So you can really change. There's always possibility to change your stories. If you really like focus on that, there's always possibility to change your story. And yeah, if I look back at mine, if I wasn't really ambitious enough, maybe I'll be in the Philippines. Maybe I'm married. I don't know, like, and then it will always be a cycle. And I will not be able to see life in a different perspective. Like like as you mentioned earlier, like there is a sense of you that wanting to be someone else, but you're trying to unleash that because it is not normal from what you're being exposed to.
yeah, that's right. I think we were put in a box. And everyone that wanted more should have to, go out of the box. And the process of going out of the box, because that's your comfort zone. And it's not easy to jump out of your comfort zone and try something else, try something new, especially for scared, living in another country, halfway around the world. It's really not easy what you're doing. Plus, of course, you're young and you're beautiful. So that is a lot of risk that you took there. I mean, aside from being ambitious, which I so like about it, because if you're not ambitious enough, you're not going anywhere because you're comfortable with where you are. So that's good that you're ambitious. Aside from the ambition that you have, you said earlier that you found your purpose and you wanted that purpose to be an eye opener to other Filipinos, to other people who were like you, living in a small town but wanted to do something else. Was that the purpose that you really wanted to pursue?
Yeah, I can really envision myself like speaking my story to any far-flung communities at home or any, like also sometimes we Filipinos, we go abroad and there's always this connotation that we work as domestic helpers. There's
Yeah.
always that connotation. No, we can go abroad, we can be consultant, we can be somebody else. That's also one of the story, like, because before people thought I went abroad to become a domestic helper. They never understand, like, she's going to study. How is she going to do that? And then my parents will be explaining to everyone that, oh, she got a scholarship, this and that, because that's always, especially in the village. Most people go abroad to become a domestic helper. No one goes abroad to study. Like, who will give you
Or get
money
married.
to study? Or get married, get some white guy.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, no. Oh, I remember before there was a married, very good story. I was in AT&T and I received a phone call, and then some guy was asking, oh, you're Filipino, you're in Europe for sure. You managed to go to Europe by getting married with some old guy. I was like, no. I really defended myself, like on the phone. If my manager heard me talking like that,
That is a no-no.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I was like, no, I came to Europe to study. I'm paying my school fees. I didn't came here for any white guy, or I didn't came here. Like, yeah, like there's always a way for us to change our story. It's not because everyone around us is doing the same thing. We should also follow that way.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I can remember myself when I was in the call center before, and then when people from, let's say, the United States are calling, they would recognize my accent. They would ask, would you like to go here in the US and get married? No. You don't want to work here? No. Why not? Everybody else wanted to do that. No, I don't want to. I will go there to have a vacation, not to work. Because other people, maybe because there's a lot of domestic helpers, or maybe because there's a lot of Filipina that married to a foreigner, to people of different races, just to get out of poverty, which is so sad. But not everybody is like that. I mean, not everybody is as ambitious as you and I, that we wanted to do more, and we feel like we can do more, and we are really trying to pursue it. We're really trying to do it no matter what, right?
That's very true, and especially for women. Especially for women. Like, of course, there are like a lot of Filipino guys coming abroad. They're working. But most Filipino women, it's either there's already stereotyping. They go abroad
Which is
to get
sad.
married. Yeah.
Which is sad.
So,
Yeah.
like sometimes, like these people will trigger you. Say, no, I should be somebody else. I should be a voice.
Yeah.
I should tell my story to the world.
I like that. You should be a voice to tell your story to the world, because everyone has their own stories. They should not judge someone by their color, by their race, by their religion, because you are your own making. Right, and depending on what you wanted to become in life, that's what will really happen. Because if you don't want anything and you're comfortable with where you are, then you'll get stuck there. That's why old people, I always tell this to my class, to the students, that's why old people are grumpy, because they were so comfortable with where they are that they grow old and they're not happy, and it manifests in them. No, they become grumpy. They become disassociated with the world, and it's sad if you will just grow up and grow old like that. But if you are growing as a person and you are achieving something and you are feeling that you're actually fulfilling something, something meaningful, something that is valuable to the world, to other people, then that changes you.
That's true. And yeah, like going through that process, it's not easy at all. So it's also one of a challenge of you trying to change your story because you don't have any, of course, there are books there, but your story is different. Like what you're reading can't be applicable to you. So
Yes.
sometimes like, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I, my gut feeling, should I trust it? You just never know. But once you manage to overcome all those fears, the moment you take the risk, you always grow.
That's right. That's right. And I like earlier when you said that you also feel that you wanted the coach or you need a coach just like everybody else, because we always need to find that someone that we can hold on to. That's someone that, aside from the support of our family and friends, that's someone who has been there and done that on whatever, line of business or whatever industry you wanted to be somebody at. For example, you wanted to become let's say a speaker, a public speaker, then find a public speaker that can coach you so that you will become that kind of public speaker that you wanted to become someday.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Because I remember before my college days, I have this professor. And of course, my professor also like went into that stories, like, this rugs to riches stories is always compelling. So I was like, yeah, I want to be this professor. But yeah, and then I changed. So of course, because your world changed, I feel like you need someone's perspective. So that's why I have another
Yeah.
coach. I have mentors. And before, I thought it's such a cliche. We always have the thinking, why
i
do I need someone to
I
tell
can
me?
manage on my
Yeah,
own.
yeah. We always have that belief, sometimes, but then sometimes, yeah, we can manage our own, but am I really capable of doing that? Then there's also some voices in our head, like telling us, like, you're not capable, you're not this, you're not that. So you always have to, I think at the end of the day, you have to conquer yourself. I
Yes, I
think
agree.
your biggest basher is yourself, but also your biggest motivator is yourself. So
I agree. I agree. I so love what you said about that. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to overcome yourself. You are your greatest ally, and you are your greatest enemy.
that's
So
true.
you have to, you have to draw the line. You have to be your biggest ally and drop those negative voices that you hear in your head. That you can't do it. What if this happened? What if this not? Sometimes we're just thinking too much. Before we cross the bridge, we're already thinking like 10 different problems, but we don't know what kind of problem will occur, right? So why don't you just, deal with the problem when you cross the bridge, because you don't know what will happen. And that's the difference between taking a risk, between risk takers like you, and between those who are just comfortable. That's it. They don't achieve anything. They don't feel like they are adding value to people. But for especially you, your age millennials right now, are focused on something else, but you are focused on growth, you are focused on career and business. So I think that you're on the right track.
Yes, I should be on the right track. Well, you know what? Because sometimes I'll be giving advice to my friends at home, and then they're like, Glory Beth, your story is not applicable here in the Philippines. I was like, it's possible, like, just try changing a different point of view. But it's not actually like people at home, because I also have like some African friends here, and life is tough. And then they will be telling me, Glory Beth, I don't know how you stay positive given this situation. I was like, no, I'm I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, just like I'm changing my perspective. I may have lost this, I may have lost that, but I still have this. And maybe from Yeah, I think it's the same concept from that bigger dreams. Oh, if that biggest dreams didn't work out, I have these smaller
You'll have
pieces.
smaller pieces rather
Yeah,
than
maybe
nothing.
yeah. So maybe we can like focus on that one. So yeah, it's always a constant proving, but it doesn't mean that you have to prove the people around you. It's only you have to prove for yourself. Yeah, because like now, I'm also like trying to create a journal. I feel like it will become a memoir later if it will be completed. It's unfinished. And then like it's always something like for me, it's always good to reflect where you were before, and then you see, oh, you managed to overcome that, then for sure I can be somewhere else. Because I know, yeah, just like before when I was coming here, people were be saying like before I finished my studies in the university, and it's so typical, if you graduated in a province, you go to Manila or you go to bigger cities.
Yeah.
And for my case, I decided to stay in that small university because I have a different goal. I will go pursue my master degrees, and everyone was questioning my choices in life. But good thing they're questioning my mom, not
Not
me.
you.
And then my mom would be like, Glorbet, I'm tired like explaining to people your choices in life. And then I was like, don't mind them. Don't mind them. I mean, somehow it's good that you have your parents, but of course, there should always be a limitation on when your parents can cover you.
Yes, yes, that's right. Um, I have this story that I shared to the class before. It's the story of 1 pint and 1 gallon. When we are having a hard time understanding why our parents are like this, why our parents are like that, it's because they lived in a world maybe 20, 30 years old before us, right? So back then they don't have technology, there's no phone, there's only newspaper, and life was slower. And right now life is faster. There's technology. If you want to call someone, just get your phone, or there's internet connection, just type whatever you want and it will just pop up. Unlike before, you have to go to the library. So there is really different a gap, wider gap between their generation and our generation. So let's not be too hard on our parents, especially the kids right now, that, oh, because my mom taught me like this, my father brought me up like that. Yes, they may have brought you up in the way that may not be ideal for anybody, and I'm sure that all of us experience that. But then once you grow up, it's already your responsibility to understand how you were brought up, and it's already your responsibility to become a better person. You can't put the blame on somebody else. Besides, if you're going to put the blame on them, they grew up in a, let's say, 1 pint information, or 1 pint kind of wisdom, but you are in a 1 gallon kind of wisdom. So can
Mhm.
you imagine that, right? That's why they have different dreams, they have different goals, and we have bigger dreams and bigger goals, and that's something that we need to prove to them, right?
Yeah, that's true. And it's like our parents always want us to be safe because of course we are their children, and they don't want to see
Babies.
us. Yeah, they don't want to see us fail, be sad. But yeah, I remember during those dark times, I mean those dark negative times, I was talk to my parents, cry. I was like, I'm making it. And my mom said, maybe change your dreams, something small. Like, no, I'm doing this.
Good thing you're stubborn.
Something like
Good thing you're stubborn. Sometimes when I was younger, I would say to myself, "Why am I so stubborn?" And sometimes there's good in being stubborn. Nobody can say you can't do something.
that's true, very true. Like, yeah. Sometimes you have to be stubborn on something else.
That's right. I so love how the conversation goes, Glory, and I thank you so much for sharing your story. And I hope that the audience will also love to hear and to learn from your story. From coming from a small town to an entirely different country that you're not even familiar of. And back in the days, I don't even know what Czech Republic is or where in part of the world it is, but you're there and you're a a great example of somebody who dreamt and who was able to achieve that dream, and I'm sure that you will be dreaming some more. Now maybe you wanted to invite them in some events, or wait for you in go follow you in your Instagram, Facebook, or website. Do you have something that you want to promote to them?
Right now, my website is not functioning, so I'm not gonna promote it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe for my LinkedIn profile, it's Glorybeth Castillo, and you can follow me on Instagram. I think that can be the platform that you can reach to me for these days. My future coaching website will be launching soon, so maybe I can share that to your Facebook
Yes.
community
Mhm,
also.
mhm.
So it'd be good opportunity for me to meet other, you know, growth seeking Filipinos. It would be a big chance.
That's right. Thank you so much. Any final, let's say, parting message for them, for those who are dreaming small to dream bigger?
Yeah, sure. Yes, to everyone, it's possible for us to change our stories. We should always evolve and focus ourselves to our dreams and goals in lives.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Glory, for doing this podcast with me. And I hope that we can do it, anytime. Maybe we can do it later. I mean, after a year or two, to check up on you and what kind of, adventures you may have in reaching your dreams. Thank you so much. And for those who are listening or watching this podcast, please join us again once more by next week, Thursday, for another inspiring adventure with another special guest. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Passion and Purpose podcast. Join us next week for another inspiring adventures.